Welcome back to part 2 of our journey to get the Platinum Trophy on Black Myth Wukong. We're kicking straight away with Chapter 4, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, make sure you do. The link is in the pinned comment and the description of the video. Chapter 4 has begun and we're in the area, the Webbed Hollow. This area is filled with bugs and insect enemies galore, but more importantly, and proper given name, the Webbed Hollow, it's got spiders. The first spider we encounter is the opening boss of the chapter, the Second Sister. Super easy fight to be honest, just immobilize her and use Pluck of Many and she's basically dead by the time the clones run out. It's a really nice opening fight. After defeating the Second Sister, we jump straight into the actual hollow, a grimy webbed up setting where every corner you turn is either a giant praying mantis shooting you with a bow and arrow or cocoons trying to take your monkey head off. Beating up this odd cocoon actually spawned a boss. This boss is a missable in a way because he has 8 limbs and you need to break off at least 4 of the arms in order to get him to drop some arm guards needed for the all armor trophy. Progressing through the area, we meet a new face that tells us to stay away from these glowing purple talismans. There are 4 throughout Chapter 4 and reveal a boss. Remember, every boss is needed in the portraits for a gold trophy, so on this playthrough we do make sure to grab them all. We battle another boss shortly after, named the Centipede Guai. Now this speedy little bastard sits on a mountain of skulls, so it couldn't be clearer that we're about to fight a boss. Once we smash him to bits, we move on to the next of the weirdest bosses I've ever seen in a video game. Not a terribly easy fight either, as it's tricky to evade certain moves, but this is the Buddha's right hand. He slaps down on the ground, he tries to grab you, all the stuff a hand would normally do other than flip you off. You can tell he's an annoying enemy. Around halfway through the fight, the hand rotates, and on the opposite side is a really creepy face with, crazy crawly legs. This was super disturbing to fight, and especially when I was sitting in the dark playing this at 3 AM and I was very sleep deprived. But once we do manage to beat the boss that so far haven't challenged me like the previous chapters, we are allowed to continue through the hollow using his right arm as a bridge, which is a really cool idea. We're searching back for our pig friend and find a cutscene where he's actually captured by another one of the spider sisters. This time it's the Violet Spider. And let me tell you, she was a nightmare to beat. She shoots an obscene amount of poison out and it slows you down tremendously, trying to keep curing it before it almost immediately is reapplied. She then jumps in the air and shoots a ton of webbing at you, which stops your movement and rolling. And obviously in these games, normally, you would just parry these shots, but not in Wukong. A roll or nothing. So she did slap me up a little bit before I could use my transform, more immobilized, which works great on spiders, and finish the job, getting out of the hollow, for now anyway. Once beating another spider, we're into the open air and another temple. This temple has a few bosses hanging around, much like this fellow, Commander Beetle. Basic movesets and easily beaten, but really enjoyable to find constantly. It's one of the great things this game does so well is always finding unique or fun enemies and bosses around literally every corner. After beating down the beetle, we accidentally trigger the final cutscene and boss fight of Chapter 4. As you can see, the 100-eyed Douse Master consumes one of these spiders and changes into a crazy hybrid man spider with magical powers. All the spider sisters kind of gang up on him and they help you chip away around 10% of his HP before he smashes me into oblivion. And I realise I was way too early for this fight. So we take a massive back step as we head into a secret section of Chapter 4. We have to explore these areas. And we come against another formidable foe, the Scorpion Lord. Now, he won't engage you unless you break his loot and boxes, which of course we do. We antagonise the Scorpion Lord to a point where he just wants to kill us. It wasn't such a good idea because he is a really, really strong enemy. He smashed me to bits almost instantly. Even tried again and I couldn't break him down, so I thought, hey, take another step back. Let's go have a look around again. We'll always find more stuff. And we did find more stuff. We actually found the secret boss in this area, the Dusk Veil, an evil creature that splits through his giant red scrotum sac to try and kill us. But the Scorpion Lord is actually part of this fight, so he's here to help. He jumps on it, starts dashing it up, gets beaten, gets killed. That's the bad part. So if the Dusk Veil kills him, you don't actually get his loot, which you need to craft a piece of armor, and you also don't get his gourd, which you need for all the gourds. So sorry, Scorpion Lord, you're for New Game Plus. But we do still have the Dusk Veil in front of us. Scorpion Lord helps a ton getting through his first phase, but then he does what all good bosses do and survives. Phase 2 it is. We hit him up in the second phase of a Blood Moon effect where he's super freaking powerful, much faster and much more direct. We actually do manage to get him in our first attempt and it gets us a great trophy for the secret boss, that is the Cockerel Crow. All secret bosses and chapter end bosses provide trophies in this game. We're heading right back now to Chapter 1 as someone mentioned to me, hey, have you killed the Red Loon yet? And my answer was, who? So the waterfall actually comes apart in Chapter 1 to get the kill on what I didn't realise was already my actual 3rd Loon Dragon. Really, really easy boss as I'm extremely over leveled for this zone anyway. I can imagine it was a lot harder if you're actually doing it at the level you should be. And now we've basically bullied a boss, I thought we were ready to get back to the chapter end man, where beating the Dust Valve got us a relic to counter one of his abilities, much like the Fire Relic in the Bear and the Wind Relic in the Yellow Sage. After rejoining the fight against 100-Eyed Master, you can notice he starts off with what the spiders did to him in that nice little bonus. We get about 10% of his health knocked off. We were also a lot of levels higher, better gear, and of course we've got a lot more skill points now, so we can actually beat him down to the transition where he basically goes Super Saiyan without any issues. We pop the relic to bring him back down to earth, making the final stage a hell of a lot easier. Still not easy, but a lot easier, and a lot easier than Yellowbrow for sure. We end chapter 4 and get the trophy Behold the Betrayal for our kill. Up came the amazing music video like we get at the end of each chapter, and we begin chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a super unique environment, essentially in a fully volcanic ash and ember world where enemies have gone from insects and spiders to undead creatures and extremely unique bosses. This chapter had a boss literally around every single corner and I loved it. The diversity of bosses in chapter 5 made it my favourite of all, starting with our quest from the Pale Axe Stalwart who wants you to kill 4 unique cart enemies. Yes, carts. This eventually unlocks the secret area of chapter 5, but we will get there eventually. Our first cart that was blocking the way was the brown iron cart, and as you can see, it's a cart. Not much to it, they're pretty defensive, but nothing more than a minute of smacking it with your big stick can't defeat. Entering the next section, your mum's doppelganger jumps over a wall and starts a fight with us. Super easy once again, just immobilise, pluck of many if you need it all. And then once we enter the next room down a long path, it's yet another cart. This time the grey bronze cart, which is identical to the brown iron. The only annoying thing about this cart is as soon as you beat it, walking 10 yards ahead of you, you're in another boss fight against not one, but 2 bosses. Annoying as I've used all my mana up smacking the cart's face. Quick as fire and fast as wind were the next 2 bosses, and they initially scared me because, you know, it's 2 bosses. You don't know how hard they hit or how fast they move, but actually the heads up, almost useless and takes such an easy beating. The flying head essentially just shoots you until it crashes in the floor and then lets you just beat it up until it dies. It's really, really easy. We work our way through the mountain to meet Misty Clouds and Cloudy Mist, another double boss fight, and yet another simple one. 1 mage and 1 crazy guy with a fire log, and after you knock out a certain percentage from each, they rotate, so only at the end are you fighting both simultaneously. These bosses were really fun, but also gave me an ego boost that was soon to end. Entering the next room and we get this amazing cutscene of the Keeper of Flaming Mountains. This is our next opponent. Really creative, unique and a true spectacle of a fight. I really enjoyed working out this one as it's not too difficult, but the direct change in how you're now fighting a boss indirectly, killing the adds and hurting him when he's only grounded to make a decent challenge. As I said earlier with multiple phases, the best bosses in the game have them, and this was an epic fight because you have to defeat the legendary Yin Yang fish. As you can expect, a fish won't have many attacks, but it's not quite as useless as a Magikarp because you still have to watch out for the slams and the slaps. But after a little running around and using my spells correctly and not wasting time, we did defeat the Keeper and the fish.
The truth has been revealed.
After we defeat the Keeper, we're technically allowed to finish the chapter by beating the final boss. I knew we were missing tons of things in this chapter, but at the time, didn't realise that this was the final boss. An amazing design here with the Red Boy, basically a small Hellboy in design, flame tassels to strike you like an evil Dr. Octopus, and planting himself in a hovering state, launching self-destructing clones of himself at you. I found these pretty tricky to dodge at times, even though it gives you a good window of movement. Once defeating the Red Boy, who was a proper challenge, we get a level up on opponents now. He's transformed into the Yaksha King, one of the coolest looking bosses I've ever seen in any game. His design is terrifying at best and nightmare fuel at worst. He hits you hard and fast and I simply was not ready for this fight. The good news is, coming back to this fight, you fight Yaksha straight away and you don't need to redo the Red Boy. So we head down the mountain to find our last cart, the Rusty Gold Cart, and this one isn't just a stationary target to smack around. He's fast, lethal and blast fire from his sides that can deal some serious damage. But we need to beat him to access that back portal into the secret area. As you can see, we managed to beat him easily. Yeah, it wasn't easy. This is actually harder than the Red Boy in my opinion. If he breathed on me, I would have died. It was so close. But with the cart defeated, we access the secret area, immediately coming against another boss duo. Top takes bottom and bottom takes top. Or the Beyblade twins as I called them. These guys are a piece of piss to beat up. With the immobilized relic where casting it stuns all enemies around, not just one, it made the fight trivial, and it gets us further into the secret area once they're beaten. Now, The Bishai Golden Beast. This is a fat bastard at the end of the secret area, and my god, he drove me insane. I am not showing all the times he kicked my ass because it'll get embarrassing, but the phasing where he explodes into fire and there's just fire everywhere and there's more fire and you're burnt, oh, you better crunch his health bar down, because in that section before the fire relic runs out, it's going to get ridiculous. Essentially, you have a permanent fire debuff on, and it made me cry. It was just horrible to deal with, and I was so frustrated, and then somehow managed to do it. I mean, killing him made me feel like Randy from South Park, so... But we do get a prize for beating him. The Frost and Flame trophy for beating that arsehole is so nice. We get the Bull King armor set for beating him as well. New Game Plus is needed to craft another couple pieces of it to get all the armor trophy. But now with our massive upgrade in armor, we head back to the Yaksha King for not round 1, but many, many rounds. He did beat the shit out of me countless times, but on this one, we get an excellent start on him using our Pluck of Many to drain the first half of his health. If you can dodge his swipe and slam attacks as well, you will be fine with him, but I really struggled to get the timing of this down. But I did manage to drink a sneaky potion of resurrection, so eventually when I did cry, and he did kill me when he had 5% health remaining, I popped straight back up to watch my clones do the dirty work for me, defeating the king and popping our end of chapter 5 trophy, Flaming Fury. Unreal fight, seriously, he's such a cool boss. As the next chapter starts, we unlock the trophy Treasure Trove as well for collecting the 4 vessels. Now begins chapter 6, and we're thrown against another super tough boss. This game is just relentless. I literally just started this chapter, and he's there. The guy that was at the... this is the side quest guy from chapter 4. And he's got a horrible shield. At least I've got Matey Boy with me. Hopefully it will help. Oh, not. Wheel again. Just keep using the wheel, mate. Try and hit again. Okay, I got a strike off. Freeze him. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. Light attacks for the win. I don't mind. Heal. Because I know what it's like. There you go, here comes the wheel. Because he loves his fucking wheel. Dodged. Suck my dick. I can't flip. It's just like every time I try and heavy attack this guy, nothing works. He's gonna get in his fire in a minute. Yeah, here he goes. Here's the fire. And I'm burning, which is great. Go on, go on. Not bad, not bad. These quick dodges are doing well. Not that one though. Yes! We got him. We got him. We got him. Fuck yes. Eat that, Supreme Dickhead, with a hand for a head. Oh. Mount Halgo is our main area in Chapter 6, and we get a tasty little treat in this area, and only this area. The Somersault Cloud is an awesome addition to this area, as it's one giant open space with obvious boss platforms scattered across. We fly over to a boss sitting on an edge just having a good time, minding his own business, and then BAM! A monkey and his clones start attacking you during a lunch break. Another really cool boss we encountered was this awesome armored rhino. Gold armored rhino. Holy shit, this is a cool boss. He's got like blue war paint. Alright, he's going to be doing some charge attacks. So let's just get all my spells done and out. Oh, very nice. Knocked his horn off. Knocked his bloody horn off. Run around him and hold the charge. And release. Because he takes a second to actually hit you. Heavy attack. Yes! Smashed his fucking nose in half. Let's go! Oh, we got some new armor smashed onto us as well. Look at that. The Fengtao General was our target after the Rhino. This area had us collecting all the pieces of Wukong's armor, and with the General we have a unique stamina battle to which we end up ripping his antennas off to form our helmet. And after we've gathered our helmet, next up was Jingabang, the golden staff of Wukong. We find it in the secret waterfall in the mountains to where the weapon is of incredible size. It shrinks down to us to basically make us Wukong at this point. We head up the mountain and come across the prize of the game, the stone Wukong was cast in. We enter the stone to find Old Man Monkey telling us stories and setting us up for the Stone Monkey boss fight. The Stone Monkey was actually fairly simple. He had some heavy attacks, including a big ice ground slam that hurt, but other than that, it just seemed to be heavy swings where you could countered pretty easily. Halfway through the fight he split into two, but the attacks slowed down as they rarely attacked simultaneously. Once we defeated the stone monkey, of course it's not the end. Casually gathering 10 times the power and transforming into the Great Sage's broken shell. Now this was a lot harder. He has your moveset, but ramped up. He does all the jumps, different stances, hits hard, and sends down his own clones. This can get very tricky. I found changing to Ring of Fire rather than Immobilize was the key here. Regenerating health without using my gourd was a well-earned victory, and it felt good. The gold trophy, a Duel of Destiny pops, and we've got our first ending done. There is a secret ending we'll get to later, but for the second, I'm very happy. We actually beat the game. So I'm assuming there's a trophy here for meditation spots because there's one that reads like it's get all meditation spots. It's hard to decipher all the riddles at this current state of the game, and there's not really much online that deciphers what they all are at the current moment. So I'm going to go try and find this last one in the webbed hollow. Once I've got it, let's see if it pops. Okay, so we have actually found, I don't think I've got this one, we have found the last meditate spot. It is a trophy, Scenic Seeker. It was in the secret area in chapter 4, so happy days. Really happy with that. Scenic Seeker. Let's go. One more trophy towards it. Surprisingly, I hadn't actually upgraded a piece of gear yet. So back at our little base, we speak to the big cat man, upgrade the gear, and boom! Pound and perfect trophy. In the same area, we plant some seeds, wait a little while, then collect them to grab the trophy Happy Harvest. And we head back to chapter 5 and speak to the old man who upgrades our gourd to the max level. This gets us always accompanied. Once you've reached the secret areas in all chapters, you get one more. This is a gate in chapter 3 that takes you to see someone very special. Through the portal and up the mountain, we find the long-lost Erlang Shen. This is our secret boss and hidden ending to the game. Now, Erlang Shen is no joke. He battered me from pillar to post for many hours. I got close many times to beating him, but I always choked when it got to the last stages, and death upon death occurred. He had this annoying block bar that for the life of me I could not figure out a quick way to beat it. Until I did, with the fan relic. It wipes the entire bar out so you can get straight on with his regular health bar. It does return every quarter of his HP though, so it's not a one-time thing. Eventually we do take Erlang out and use the thrust stance actually. Had to change up my build a few times to find the best chance of beating him. But we do get our final blow on him, and of course, it's not the end. And I was pretty nervous until I saw what the fight actually turns into. It was magnificent.
Such power must be new to you.
It's us, as the giant stone monkey against the 4 heavenly kings. This fight was a masterpiece. The best in the game for me, as it was so immersive and it felt like a long time coming. The fight itself wasn't hard at all. In fact, I suspect it was put here for cinematic purposes as the almighty end to a game. You could regain nearly a whole health bar with certain attacks, and the dodging of enemy attacks had extremely wide windows. Once we defeated the Heavenly Kings, we were back on Erlang Shen, now as another transformation. A giant fire sword slashing around, and again, trivial. An extremely easy fight, which I was very happy with after having dealt with the first Erlang Shen. I can't be the only one that struggled there as well. We land out our final blow on Erlang and watch him change back to his regular form. We get our secret ending trophy, meet the match, and our secret ending was done. It was time to go and collect everything we could that wasn't missable before starting our new Game Plus run. Our first non-missable was to get all 15 Celestial Pills for the trophy Medicine Meal, and we head back to chapter 4 to beat our last Loon boss. 4 in total, but this questline of bosses was needed for the trophy the Sire and Sons. Really amazing fights. The trophy The Clamour of Frogs was for defeating the 6 frog bosses in the world. We had luckily only missed one, so we go back, smash them to bits. Being over-leveled for these fights was really helpful. And the last trophy before New Game Plus was Seeds to Sow, which I guarantee for a lot of people was a right ball ache. Gathering all 15 seeds, which are RNG drops with 30-minute wait times to regather the plants. Luckily, I only needed one more, and I wasn't aware the trophy was actually going to pop when you get the seed. I thought you might have to deliver the seed, so yeah. Now everything else to do was missed in our first playthrough, so we get stuck in with New Game Plus and are immediately super strong. We get 2 trophies popping instantly as soon as we start New Game Plus. 6 senses secured for getting all 6 relics. The 6th is given in New Game Plus, and Master of Magic for collecting all spells. Again, one more spell is given when starting New Game Plus. And just to show you how strong we are immediately, we went into New Game Plus at level 100. When we're done, I think we leave it around 160. The Bull Vanguard loses nearly half his HP with a baby headbutt, and then we basically 2-shot off Frog. We're really strong. We did miss a few chapters of the Horse Guy's questline, so that will be finished. We need to find him in every single chapter. He gives the final transformation we need for a trophy, and the trophy simply for finishing his questline. We find Zoodog in chapter 2, and that allows us to buy the last recipe for medicine. Again, all of these things are only available in New Game Plus, but this pops Page Preserver. Heading to Pagoda Prison again. I really did not like this place in my first playthrough, but we're here to kill those big lantern-headed enemies. There are 9 altogether, and once defeated all 9, they drop a Curios. I only needed 1 more for the trophy, so that was a relief. A Curious collection was ours. Cast your mind back to near the start of the video. We didn't kill the Scorpion Lord. Well, now we will. Again, even though we're super strong, he nearly took my head off multiple times. He is a really tough enemy. But killing him gave us a Death Stinger item that we need to craft this really cool armor set. All armor is needed, so you have to kill him. We also missed this side quest with a masked stranger. He needs us to find the item Violet Hail and bring it back to him. Once we do, he turns into what appears evil. Doused Me is revealed in a 2-phase fight. Why is he relevant? Well, because he actually was the last person I needed for the bestiary or portraits in this game. Every single enemy type, boss, and character have now been found in the game after him. Striking the killing blow grants us Portrait's Perfected Trophy. All gourds, all drinks, and all soaks were needed for the trophy Brewer's Bounty. I needed 1 drink more found in chapter 3. It was just sitting there. I cannot believe I missed this the first time, but Brewer's Bounty was ours. And the Horse Guy's quest has come to an end. The final part is in chapter 5, where he's trapped inside one of those carts we just kept killing. Pulling on his whip frees his soul and ends the quest line, popping 2 trophies. The first, Urge Fulfilled, for finishing the questline, and Fickle Forms, for all transformations and spirits collected. Okay, we have defeated the secret boss in chapter 5, which leaves us with crafting 2 more bits of gear, which we're going to do now. Bull King's Braces and Bull King's Greaves. And we get the trophy Mantled with Might. Get in. That is all armor completed. I was worried about that one. And now, as far as I can see, we have 1 more weapon to craft. And it's here, the Dark Iron Staff. We just got the Bull King's Iron Horns. So if we craft this and cross our fingers, Staffs and Spears. We know what that means, guys. Come on. Come on. Woo! Final fulfillment. We've got the platinum on Black Myth Wukong. Dude, this game fucking rules. But the platinum can suck a dick. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to check out others on the channel. If you didn't watch part 1, make sure to watch part 1. And if you liked the video, guys, make sure to leave a comment down below. Tell us how you got on with this game. Thank you to our NCU Collective for all the constant support, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.